I came out of a room and was a totally different person than the one that entered the room. This did not happen once, did not happen twice. It happened again and again. I went into that room or situation in a good mood. I came out of that situation or room drained, exhausted and tired, and somehow sad, until I recognized one day, hey, this isn't my sadness. That sadness is theirs. It comes from the other people. I soaked the feelings up without recognizing or wanting it. And my own energy, gone. For a long time, I thought that exactly that was empathy. I thought it was strength and resilience, and that it would be a very good skill to have. I thought it was some kind of virtue or something, until I asked myself one question one day that I could not answer. How do I feel about this situation and this behavior? Here, inside myself. I could not answer that question. Somewhere in between all those situations, rooms and people, I had disappeared. It took me 20 years to understand why that happened, and what I discovered absolutely took me by surprise. In this video, I want to show you why something like that can happen. It's definitely not because you're too sensitive, and it's not because you care too much. It's because nobody told you that you're allowed to have edges. Honestly, I thought that harmony was the ultimate goal. If I could keep everyone happy, if I could smooth everything over, I would be safe. If I could achieve all that, adaptable, easygoing, a good person, I'd be loved. And I thought behaving like that was a virtue. But here is what I have not seen when behaving in that way. Being shapeless wasn't a strength. It was a safety mechanism. The one who has no edges doesn't make waves. And the one who doesn't make waves is safe. When I was a kid, this pattern protected me. It just never stopped. If you never speak up, if you never say no, if you never cause friction, then you have no edges. You have no shape. You're just whatever is needed in that room at that moment. But here's the thing. When you're like that, you don't know what you want, because you're so occupied with finding out what other people want that you forget yourself. I understood. Frictions and edges are not the enemy, but what edges really are came as a supermassive surprise. Here's what nobody tells you. You cannot know who you are without causing friction. Let me explain it this way. How do you know where your skin stops? You feel when someone touches you. You feel the boundary that your skin is. You feel the edge. You feel the point where you end and the rest of the world begins. That is what friction does. It shows you who and where you are. Without friction, you are like fog. You're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You have no weight, no substance, and no form. Maybe you're thinking right now, but Jen, isn't flexibility a strength? What about Bruce Lee? He said, be like water, my friend, right? Yeah, sure. But here's the difference between water and fog. Water is adaptable because it has substance. When water flows around an obstacle, like a rock or something, it doesn't disappear. It stays water. Being hyper or overly adaptive is not being water. It's being fog. At the moment when someone needs something, you evaporate. You lose your shape and form completely to adapt what they need and want. Water adapts. Fog disappears. And that is not the same. Here's what I've learned. You don't have to look for friction. You just have to stop to avoid it. This week, go into one situation where you would adapt normally and don't do it. Stand your ground. Become unflexible. Don't do it in a dramatic way and don't pick a fight. Just stand your ground. If someone wants something from you, say, no, I don't want that. No buts, no excuses, just no, I don't want that. And then listen to your body and see what's happening inside of you. Do you feel a tightening of the chest? Do you have a lump in your throat? Does breathing feel more difficult? That's the part of you that's used to adapting. That's the part of you, the fear in you that thinks they will leave you. You will be alone. You have to adapt to be loved. But stick to your no, please, and breathe. Just stand there, do nothing else, because you're not in danger. You're just finding your true form. And then look what happens next. Is it the end of the world? No. In fact, the other person adapts. And then you'll feel it. Oh, I can have edges. and the other person is still here. Here's what changes when you have edges. You stop disappearing. You begin to know what you want. You begin to take up space for your own wants and needs. This can happen because you don't have to spend all your energy to find out what other people want. You finally can use it for yourself. And here's the surprising part. Your relationships will get better, not worse, because you finally allow other people to meet you, the real you, not the overly adapted version they know. They finally meet the version of you that has a form, the true and original form. Real connection needs two whole people, not one person and one fog. You don't have to be shapeless to be loved. You have to be real, and friction is what gets you there. I am Jen, also known as the Witch of 1,000 Faces. I help women to find their true form, not through adapting, but through testing out versions of us that already know how this is done. If you're ready to become real, subscribe. I upload almost every Sunday, and tell me in the comments where you found your edges this week. Remember, you are not fog, you are form. And friction is your way to find it.